First thing that we have is the triangle angle sum theorem, which sounds really fancy, but it's not. Basically, it just says that the three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so if I add up all three angles, all three interior angles of a triangle, I get 180 degrees. So let's prove this to see why that is the case. If I'm given any triangle, like I have right here, if I draw a line parallel to AW through P, whoops. So we're going to say that this line right here is parallel to that line down there. My markings aren't cooperating, but these two lines right here and here are parallel to each other. There's not really a reason for that. We're just doing that because we can. So if I call this angle 1 right here, and this angle 3 right here, if I look at angles 1, 2, and 3, those make a straight line. They add up to 180 degrees. So that's just because these are on a straight line. Next, we have that angle 1 is congruent to angle 4 and angle 3 is congruent to angle 5. Well, since this line up here is parallel to this bottom side, these 1 and 4 and these 3 and 5 are alternate interior angles, so that's why they're congruent. And then finally, if I just substitute, so if I say that up here I had 1, 2, plus 3 equals 180. Here I've got 4 plus 2 plus 5 equals 180. That's because I'm substituting 1 for 4 and 3 for 5. So that's substitution. Alright, so now let's practice. If I want to find the measure of angle 1, I know that these three angles have to add up to 180, so I add 92 and 63 together. I get 155. So when I subtract that from my 180 total, I would be left with 25 degrees for angle 1. Same thing here, add up 20 and 87, I get 107. When I subtract that from my total of 180 to figure out angle 1, I'm left with 73 degrees. Same thing here, add 80 and 40, we get 120. When we subtract that from 180, we're left with 60 degrees for angle 1. Down here it's a little bit more complicated, but not much. So if I look at this, I've got x, y, and z. So if I look at the triangle on the left, I'm only missing one angle, angle x, so I'm going to find that one first, and then figure out how to find y and z. So if I add up 28 and 85, I get 113. If I subtract that from 180, I'm left with 67 for x, so x equals 67. Then, if I look at x and y make a straight line together, so I know they have to be supplementary. So to find y, I take 180 minus what x was, which was 67. So that would give me this number that I had here, which is 113. So y equals 113. Then I've got this angle, 113, this other triangle right here. So I've got 113, 17, and z. So I would add 113 and 17 together. I would get 130, and then z would be whatever's left over when I subtract that from 180, which would be 50. So 50 equals z. Number 5, basically the same concept, so we'll start over here, because I'm only missing one angle in this triangle. So I add 57 and 24 together. I get 81 when I subtract that from 180. Whoops, we're solving for z. So when I subtract 81 from 180, I'm left with 99. So z equals 99. Then same thing, this equals 99, so y must be supplementary to it, so I would go backwards, subtract 99 from 180, and I would get 81. So y has to be equal to 81. Then, if y is equal to 81, I add up this angle, then I subtract that from 180 to find the missing angle, angle x. So 81 plus 40 gives me 121.